Ready?
Yeah, it's going.
Do what thou wilt should be the whole of the law. I wanted to make this video in regards to the Heather Ann Tucci Giraffe and Randall Bean cases that have come up recently within the news, or they've been kept out of the news. They're in the alternative news. These individuals, Heather Giraffe specifically, has created she has attempted to create and created a factual trust called the One People's Trust of the world, which was formulated in 1776, and she is seeking to regain control of the actual trust, which was not contested. If you'd like to look at the documents, the legal documents, they're very intense. I would advise you to get a lawyer before you act on these documents. I've been reviewing these documents as a paralegal. I'm not giving anybody legal advice here, but I'm looking at these documents and they look very legit on the website. The website is i-uv.com /
We can add this in the description underneath the video if you want. We can just put the link in there for everybody.
No, I'm trying to give it to them right now so they can go to it, so they can see what I'm talking about. i-uv.com /OPPT-absolute /original OPPT-UCC filings /. If you go into this section, you can download the UCC filings, and what it appears that has been done here, if you click on the click here button, it gives you the actual document itself, and you can download that document. This document is a UCC financing statement under the One People's Public Trust of 1776, filed on behalf of everybody in the United States. And what it does is it places the obligation of the federal government, the United States of America Corporation, to pay back all debts, anything, any credits, anything that is in this trust itself that has been illegally removed, that we have not given authorization or permission for. This includes all the wars we've had to pay for and everything that we have not authorized to be paid for out of our trust. Now, what is important to understand is this is a global trust. This isn't just a trust for individuals to go and get money through. This is a trust which is formulated under the Declaration of Independence, July 4th, 1776, which states that all of our states created a One People's Trust, and that the government itself, through its agents, and Rothschild is named in this document several times, have misappropriated those funds for their own usages, and have not told us the truth about the bonds that we've been placed under, being chattel for the creation of these bonds.
Right, we're the collateral.
Right, we're literally the collateral.
Your houses, your cars, anything you think are paid for, it's collateral.
Everything that was bought with United States currency, the dollar bill, which is an IOU, it's a debt. It's not wealth, it's debt.
So anything you have is not, you don't own it. Even though you own it, you don't own it.
Right. Now, the way I understand the trust is if you take an amount of money out, it automatically pays off that amount and puts it back in the account. So this trust continues to do this, accumulate the money, the wealth. We're not talking about money as in like how we would perceive money, as in like cash, which has really no value other than the paper and the ink that it's printed on. We're talking about actual monies, currency that would be used to pay debts. So we're talking about silver, we're talking about gold, we're talking about all of these things that have been given through donations, through our trusts. You know, if you look around the country, these people who were behind this, these thefts, they've actually donated libraries. They've given away, you know, a lot of our money in donations because they couldn't have the money themselves. Okay? So they've created libraries, repositories of learning and various other things which they've given away. They've gifted to various townships. This is why they're doing that. Well, this is asking for all of that back. Okay, and if you actually look at, if you download, if you go back to the original page I was talking about where you can click on it, you can actually download all of the, it takes about a minute to download, and you can see all of the original UCC documents that were filed by 3 specific individuals who have literally become the trustees over that account.
Right, because like, see, we originally started out trying to just access our Federal Reserve account that's listed in your name and your Social Security number with their bank, with the Fed Reserve Bank routing number. So that's just going to kick back. It's not going to do anything but reverse the charges. You might be able to pay your bill, and then it's going to kick it back and reverse the charges. But, so what it is that legally, and I'm not an attorney either, so this is not legal advice. Legally, you have to file the UCC paperwork to take control of this trust fund. And we're even thinking it's one step further. We're thinking that part of the reason that these people are now, you know, being held in federal court, and this, boy, you know, we're just like on pins and needles waiting to see what the court ruling is going to be on this. But we're thinking that you almost want to be a corporation to do this versus an individual. Because if you're a corporation, then they can't actually come after you. But they are the first people that were actually able to remove their trust fund money out of the Federal Reserve Bank and take control of it.
Well, and this is how they were able to do it. They stated the debtor's exact full name was the United States in capital letters, comma, Federal Corporation. And they listed the address as 1600 Pennsylvania Ave, Washington, D.C. All of, you can see these are all official. This is all official right here.
I don't know if they can see it. You'll have to take the camera over that way.
Okay, you can see the actual document that's been filed is an official UCC document which states the United States as a federal corporation which has taken over. They are the debtor. They have actually taken credit out on our trusts. They have borrowed money on our actual global trust, and they're not entitled to do so. And so if you look at the secured party, we're stating that we are the secured party, the United States of America, the one trust. There's a specific name for it. I'll give it to you in a minute. But it states the United States of America, which is considered different than the federal corporation, are the secured creditors, the secured party, the secured creditor for that debt. And if you continue down in here, you have official documents. These are sealed documents. This is very, very real. You can see the attachment. There's 7 attachments to this actual document, which the trust, you can see the name of the trust, the One People's Public Trust of 1776. You can see the fingerprints, which are identifying marks of the individuals who are filing for the access to their own trust through this. And they're asking for each individual in for the amount of $4,900,000,000 for each individual.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. So people
who's gonna
saying,
take out the trash if we all get this.
right, exactly. It's, you know, we're gonna have to all work together after this, you know, because people might think that they can get greedy with this, and it's set up so you really can't get greedy. You know, everybody is going to have the same equal amount based on what they've borrowed on the global trust and what each individual, their value is. You can see in the actual document, I'm going to get a little closer, you can see the name Rothschild. This part of the document basically says that we want the money returned back to us that Rothschild has taken from us. And you can see the date, July 4th, 1776. And you can see One People's Public Trust. That's the name of the actual trust that everybody is globally under. You can see again the fingerprints of those who are participating in the creation of this legal document, these attachments, becoming secured creditors of our global trust. I would suggest you go through here. This is a creditor's order in nature of replevin and restitution, where it's being asked that the money that has been stolen from this One People's Trust be returned from the debtors who have actually taken physical possession illegally of the trust. They're not trustees, they're not agents of the trust. None of us have actually agreed to them being agents of the trust. And so this is a legal document asking that the money be returned. So yes, this is much bigger than each individual's Social Security number, Social Security account. This is a global, worldwide movement. Again, you can see from the creditor, they're listed. You can see the notice is to the debtor, and you can see that the debtor is Rothschild, ETL, and it's directly against, which has been recognized by the British Crown now. So it was recognized in 1783 by the British Crown that there was in fact a One People's Public Trust that they have been gaining the money through. And you can see this is a the notice itself. The notice is to several individuals, Rothschild and Sons, London, to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. You can see this. This has all been set up on behalf of everybody. So what you could actually do, and I'm not giving you legal advice, but you could file your own UCC, which declares your true living man as separate from your actual fictional character. Your fictional character would be in all caps letters, and that is what your trust has been created under. And this is the attempt to, and it has been shown and proven.
And we're recommending that you get an attorney to do this for you.
Right.
We're not recommending, I wouldn't recommend that any of you try to do this alone. My husband over here is a paralegal, and we're not doing this without an attorney. And we are also going to use a corporation because it doesn't name us as the people going after the trust to be the trustees. The corporation is going to be the how do you say it right? The trustee holder would be our corporation, not us. As hopefully a barrier, a shield to not being the ones that would be, that the government would actually come after. Because if all the people stand up and go after this, it's going to collapse the whole Federal Reserve. And so anybody...
Right, it's not that it's just going to collapse the Federal Reserve, it's going to restore the money, the economy which has been destroyed by these individuals.
Right.
So it's a lot deeper than just the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve is the lending, the private corporation that is lending the money which is printed on paper. It has no value. The value is us. We are the collateral. The people of the United States, the one people's trust. We are literally bonded, and we are the collateral for these loans. This is the money that they have as collateral through creating trusts under our name.
This woman and man here that you're looking at their website have gotten further than anyone else with this fight. And this fight has been going on a long time, and anyone that gets close seems to disappear. And I'm not saying that to scare people, because we're following through. We want attorneys. We want a corporation doing this. We're just trying to show you what is going on. Everybody knew that the Federal Reserve Bank was illegal back in 1933. So, and many Americans know that it is, that it should have never been, they should have never even had the right to print money. That was the government's right.
So this is another UCC statement that is recorded in the Washington Recorder of Deeds that actually formulates, this is a true bill, which formulates the actual trust itself, which is called the One People's Public Trust of 1776. This is freedom in commercial law. You have the ability under the laws. This frees us from the enslavement of the United States, Inc. And there are additional filings here stated as amendments, which it's asking for that these amendments allowed to be filed, which is a part of the trust itself. Who has authority to utilize the trust? It is created under the Universal International Law Ordinance, which again gives everybody the ability and access. What are you doing? Try to talk here.
I know, sorry. I couldn't get past you though.
This gives, everybody as an individual the right to actually utilize this public trust created for us, for everybody. Now, if you ever heard of Heather Ann Tucci Giraffe, she is one of the people upon this document who created this trust itself, this factual trust. And so it may not be necessary to have a corporate veil, and this is an attempt to remove all of the corporate veils.
Well, a lot of that too is going to.
Or you might want to wait.
In this court case.
You might want to wait and see what's going to happen in this court case, because right now she is charged, and Randall Bean is currently awaiting to see what he is being charged with.
Yeah, they can't even charge him with anything. They don't know what to charge him with.
So I would suggest, you send your cards and love to Heather Ann Tucci Giraffe, who is currently incarcerated and being illegally held by the United States Federal Corporation.
Yeah, Homeland Security.
They have her in federal prison awaiting a trial on whatever it is they're going to charge her with. They can't figure out what to charge her with because she really hasn't committed any crime. She's merely filed documents to restore the one people's public trust.
Yeah, and thank you for those losses that happened because of 9/11 during the 9/11 heist that took away our freedom, because now they can just indefinitely hold people, without any charges. Thank you so much for your bogus 9/11 heist.
So now if you go onto the website, you can actually see the news itself, and I would definitely suggest that you go onto this website. Again, it is OPPT-absolute/original-OPTT-UCC-filings/, and you'll notice that on the top you have the home, you have the OPT Absolute, which creates the Absolute Trust, the One People's Trust. So they're not ignorant of what is going on here. They're very mindful that these legal documents have been filed. But right now it's basically just her against these banksters and these corporations that don't want to be found out. They're afraid that they're going to be lynched. They're afraid that the people are going to get very upset once they find out the truth about this global trust. And there's other links that you can actually read and click on. But yes, I would advise you to go to this website, or I would suggest that you go to this website and that you read about what is going on. And it's globally. You'll notice that under the home page, it's not just in the United States, it's everywhere. Everywhere in the world.
England signed on there. That says something.
Okay. So yes, this is not just for an individual to make a lot of money, to profit. There is no fraud here. This is an attempt to remove the veil that has been there for so long, which has allowed these companies and these corporations to profit off of everybody in the world.
Right.
To profit off of our debt and our suffering and our enslavement. This is absolutely sickening that they've done this. And they've admitted that they've done this. They've admitted that they have actually committed these acts. They're answering this with silence. Their silence is an admission of guilt. They're not saying that what we're doing is illegal. They haven't at all said that. They've simply tried to say that people trying to access their money without being recognized as a corporate entity is fraud. That's what they've tried to say. But even that's not true, because we have this document. We have a factual trust that's been created. So this trust actually exists. The numbers that are on these documents can be utilized to formulate your own paperwork.
This is taking our country back without firing a shot. This
Right.
is taking our country back without a war on our front doorstep and a major civil war. That's what this is. This is a way for us to win and beat these thugs that are running our country and creating war and havoc. You know, think about these false flags. Think about what they're getting ready to do. All this false flag was with this recent rioting stuff. It's all just because they're fixing to go in and do a war on Korea, because they are one of the only countries left that's not in this whole banking industry. And they want that country. Just like we're 3 countries total. That one, Cuba, and what is it, Yemen? Was it Yemen, or it's a place in the Middle East?
Yemen.
Yeah. And now they're going for Korea. It isn't long, and they're going for Cuba too. You know, we've got to quit falling for these false flags, and we've got to take our country back.
Right. Absolutely. We need to pay attention to what is going on. Because right now, you know, they're trying to divide and conquer us. That's exactly what they're trying to do. We are the United States. And that is where our power is, in our one people's trust of 1776. And they know if they can divide that union, then they can argue that this trust isn't based on the United States, on a one people's public trust. There would have to be some other renegotiation of this trust, because it wouldn't be possible if we had one side against the other side. So please, people, let's get beyond all of these petty politics, because that's what they are.
Distractions.
They're trying to distract us.
And they're using the media to manipulate and control what you focus on.
And shut off the TV, shut off the news. Don't pay any attention to them. Just ignore them. If we ignore the news, then we ignore their simulations. We take their power away from them. We just, just ignore them. Turn it off. Don't react to it. Don't make any posts about it. Just totally boycott all of these major news stations.
And false flags.
And they're the perpetuators of this false flag. They work with the government. There isn't just 3 branches of government. There's 5. Look at it. There's an executive branch. There's a legislative branch. There's a judicial branch. And there's a bureaucratic branch. And there is a media branch. Okay? So there's not 3. There's not a tripartite government anymore. Our Constitution definitely is outdated, and it needs to be reformulated in order to protect ourselves against the abuses that we've received under the idea that it's the media. Don't be fooled that the media is separated from the government. They're not. I mean, think about it. How would you know who is good to vote for if the news and the media didn't tell you about these people? You would know absolutely nothing about these candidates. You only know what they tell you and what they want you to know. It's a whole dog and pony show.
You know, well, I mean, just like my
So
friend,
wake
he
up
says,
to it.
anybody that goes after them disappears. Nobody can beat the government. Well, you know what? Yeah. You know what? That's what
We
they
can
want.
beat the government.
That's what they want. They want us to be in fear.
Right.
It's all about controlling, manipulating us through fear.
Right.
And we're not gonna fall for that anymore. We're not gonna do that anymore. We are, it's like I told him, I said, this isn't a fight for just me. This isn't a fight for me to just get my own money. This is a fight to free the world. This is a fight for my son to have the world that he was meant to live in, not be living as a slave, working for not enough money to be able to pay his rent and his car note and buy and be able to eat decent, or have an illness and not be able to be covered with the doctors because they've decided these awful laws that, no, your pre-existing condition is not going to be covered, or we're not going to pay for this, or we're going to fine you because you didn't buy our crappy ass medical insurance that wasn't covering anything anyway. So, I say let's stand up. Let's stand up. We need to stand up and fight. We are the freedom fighters for America, for the world. Come join us. Come join us. Blessed be 666, Mark.
Right.
Go ahead and do your little 666.
666.
Hail Satan.
Blessed be. For freedom.
For
liberty.
freedom, for liberty. That's what
right.
Satan stood for. Freedom, liberty.
That's right.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid.
Wisdom, knowledge. The serpent.
Check out this website and make this video viral. It only takes a second. Just share this video.
Yeah.
Share it with as many people
Share it as fast
can.
as you can, because
Put it everywhere.
the last
it's gonna
one,
try to zap this video down.
the last one that went down about this, it got zapped in like less than 2 days. They don't want this knowledge out here. They're zapping them off of YouTube as fast as they go up. So make it viral, everybody. We need everyone to know the truth. Blessed be.